Hello everyone, so my name is Vinay Yadav and I am here to share with you all that how I scored 67 marks in CA Intermediate Examination in paper 2 business, that is corporate and other laws, or you can say business or other laws. So let's get started with the strategy how I scored those marks. First of all, I would like to say that the law subject was used to be a nightmare for me in the foundation because in foundation I remember that I wrote whole whole the printed book in my notebook just to remember the things, and I ended up scoring around 66 in that, and that was a nightmare for me in foundation. But as I studied in intermediate, it was not like that. It was kind of an easy one. Like I was having a confidence that I will pass in this examination, but getting an exemption was not so much of my so much in my confidence. But I scored exemption 67 marks, and in this attempt the question which asked in the mandatory question, like question number 1, there was one question from the debentures I guess, and that was not for that question I was not ready, so I didn't attend that question. Anyway, starting with the strategy. So how strategy was, so starting from the first chapter, I went on the YouTube again and searched for the first chapter on the YouTube in the search. So I got the videos from various faculties, and again I went with those faculties which are with whom I was comfortable, and then I completed in this way the whole CA intermediate paper 2 law, corporate law. I faced little difficulty in certain chapters. The biggest chapter, that 7, administration or something. So in that management and administration, something like that. So in that I faced difficulty. I was not able to get all the videos on the YouTube, or so I went through that chapter by myself and understood the concepts. And then for other laws I did the same thing. I searched on YouTube and I got various demo lectures and other free resources which are available in form of marathon or something like that. So in this way I completed my syllabus from the YouTube. What I used to do is that I never made notes. I would like to tell you all that it may contradict with your way of studying, but I never used to make notes. And I used to, whenever I used to watch the lectures on the YouTube, so I used to just write with them that this is a section, this how its concept is, and whatever I was required to write now, I used to write that in ICR module itself, and so that whenever I will revise the concept I can refer easily, because opening your ICI mat then notes is not what's I thought that it will not be synchronized every time, because many times it is possible that I would forget to open notes, and from the beginning itself I was not a note making person from the beginning itself, and I used to study directly from the ICI material. And whenever I need to do the practice, I used to do in the rough only, like whenever I used to recall any section, so I used to recall in my mind or I used to write somewhere. So in this way I did, and I never made notes, and it depends person to person. People so in this way I did my completion of the syllabus, and as I told earlier that I never used to make notes. And then what I did is that I went from all the questions again, and whenever I found that this question is tricky, or this question is having a little different concept, and the RTP MTP questions, all the PYQP questions, whatever the question which were tricky or with little different concept, I marked them all, and I used to practice them again and again in the revisions. And I always tried to learn as much as possible sections, because writing sections can fetch more marks, but writing wrong sections can deduct more marks as well. It can bring 0 to you also, even if your answer is correct but section is right, as I have heard from the faculties. So you have to be alert about that. You need to know about that what are the disadvantages of writing wrong section as well. So in this way I learned all those things, and after learning I went for the test. So I went for the test, and I was able to complete the paper within the time, and even 10-15 minutes earlier I used to complete the paper. So I was not much worried about law, because it was something like, if you have a good English, little good English I would say, or you have a little command over the English words, so you can score well. And you need to also put those words which are in module, like the law words. As you all read the module, you will get to know that those words you needs to be reflected in your answers which are given in the module. So you need to have that a habit of learning those technical words. So that was not a difficulty for me, because I was not referring any other material, but I was referring the study material only, and suggested answers come from the study material itself. So that was not problem for me. And then I used to revise all the time those sections. I used to recall the sections, like how I am able to recall those sections. And you need not to worry about all those big chapters again in this subject, because you have to first go with the small chapters. And I would say that you need not to remember all the section as well if you want to pass, because it's not mandatory, but it is a kind of a cherry on the top, I would say, because it adds a little value. So it is not like you need to mandatorily write the sections. It is not required, as well as I've heard from the faculties, at least on the inter level. So it is not mandatory, but if you want, then you can, to enhance your answers. And in this way I did this. And after that, for 1.5 days, what I did is that I went through from all the chapters, from all the important points which I marked in my module. And after that, what I did is that I went from all those things, then I appeared for the examination. And in examination, I would say one question, as I earlier mentioned, that from the question number 1, it was very tricky, I would say, or I didn't cover that in 1.5 days. So that was a thing that I lost my 6 marks over there directly, because I didn't attend that question. So I lost 6 marks. And many questions were like directly from the module itself, like some 1 or 2 question I saw that it was replica of the module, but just by changing the figures. So I was like changing the names and figures. So I was like I was very happy at that time that that is the advantage of learning from the module. So in this way I studied for the paper 2, corporate law and other laws. And what I would say is that just focus on the concept here also, and practice as much as questions, and don't forget to do the writing practice, because writing practice will help you in saving your time or completing your paper on time. And also the format, you need to remember that 3-paragraph format I followed. That first is that provision, second is fact of case or analysis, whatever you can say, and third is the conclusion. So in this 3-para format, I answered all the questions. And I wrote as much as section I was able to. But at one point of time I thought that I didn't remember the section properly, so I didn't mention the section over there. I just wrote as per the provisions of the Companies Act, or whatever the act is there. So if you are unable to remember the section, then don't write the sections. You can go with the provisions only, that provision line only. So that's all. So at last I would like to say again that be a game changer in your life. Whatever you have, in what situation you are in, just give your 100%, not immediately, but definitely you will get what you want. So just putting your effort, just give your effort to the thing which you want, and you will get that thing. And signing off, and thank you so much for watching this video.